This podcast is part of the Loosely Connected Network. Visit www.thelooselyconnected.com for more great podcast networks, Twitch streams, YouTube channels, and more.
I love the Power Club.
Come with me if you want to live.
I love the Power Club.
No time for time travel.
Welcome to another episode of the No Time for Time Travel podcast, where we are podcast for nerds by nerds. My name is Tony, and joining me all the way from Paris is Quack.
Hello.
That reminds me, I gotta update our social media stuff to say that it's no longer Sweden. So you guys, we are a podcast for nerds by nerds, and we are on episode 115. And we don't really know what the topic of this episode is. I think Quack had a suggestion.
Yes. I said the topic should be like gaming of the future. What we think the next couple of years, the gaming, either industry or the type of console we'll be expecting. And it doesn't have to be like within like 5 years. It could be like 20 years or 30 years, something like that.
Okay, cool. So yeah, typically we solicit guests, or not guests, but listeners to let us know what you guys want us to talk about. I just totally forgot to do that this week. So that's why we're doing a topic like that now. And then question of the week, I'm going to have to carry over from last week because I also forgot to tweet that out. So sorry, guys. But before we get into the topic, how have you been doing? So if you guys, listeners who don't know, Quack recently moved to Paris. So, yeah.
Yeah, it's been good. I think for me it's just more of a change of just the temperature. It's so warm here. It's too warm for my taste.
But isn't it more like, California?
California weather?
Yeah, California.
Yeah, I know.
Oh, you don't like that? Okay.
Oh.
Forgot.
It was so warm back when I was at home. I was like, oh no. I mean, like, you guys had your heat wave, and then I moved to Paris. I had my heat wave. I had I think it was up to 100 something, and they don't have AC here.
Yeah.
So it's more like I just sleep with the windows open and without a shirt, and it was still hot. So I was just dying.
So when did you find out about the AC thing?
Well, I found out the hard way when I went into the apartment and I realized there's no AC.
Yeah, so it's funny because for Lamb, right? Like randomly he just told me, "Oh, today I learned that Europe they don't use AC. So good luck with Quack." And I was like, "What?" I don't even know how he found out, but he was just randomly saying that. And I'm like,
yeah.
What the heck?
Yeah, it was randomly convenient and within context of what we're experiencing.
Yeah, I know. It was so weird, but it related. So yeah, I don't know.
Yeah. But overall, I think I've just been busy running around finding a more permanent apartment, because right now I'm staying at a temporary one.
Whoa, wait.
Provided by the company and everything.
Hold on. What's that loud droning noise in the background?
Oh, yeah, hold on. Give me one moment.
Jeez.
Yeah, so that loud sound you heard earlier is pretty much the street, because the street or the area that I live on is pretty busy at night. It's near bars and it has pretty much a social nightlife.
Okay.
And it's kind of like a trade-off in a way where in order for me to have ventilation and cool air, I have to open the window.
Ah, okay.
By opening the window, it's super noisy.
Yeah, no, earlier when you did it, I was listening. I was like, geez, what is that? It sounds like I'm playing those horror video games. And then there's the creepy background noises of demonic humming and stuff like that. I was like, Quack, you okay over there? Do you need an exorcism? Or
No, this is just French Quack.
Okay. French Quackter, quarter. Haha.
Pretty good.
Yeah.
Yeah. So right now it's pretty much just been a kind of a give and take. So when it gets really hot, I had to open the windows, And then at night when I just want to do something simple as like watch a YouTube video, I have to turn it up like super loud to like almost max,
It's like
just so that it can drown out like the motorcycle and the car driving by.
it's like you're contributing to the noises that they hear out there.
yeah, pretty much. The only way to cancel it out is with more noise.
Well, why don't you just use noise canceling headphones?
Yeah, but then you guys, I don't know. I don't have one, right?
Oh, you don't? I thought you did.
Oh, no.
Huh.
I have earphones. I mean, I have like earbuds. Sorry.
Earbuds, but you still have to max out the volume?
Well, not maxed out, but I could still hear over it.
Oh my
And
gosh.
everything.
Yeah. I think if you had like noise canceling headphones, it would like save you from like all that headache.
Oh, probably. Because today at work we had there's like construction in my like literally inside like our building where they're building the stairs from the top floor to the basement pretty much. And then all it was is just a lot of construction noise, like from drilling to hammering constantly while we're working. And then whenever that happens, I just see my colleagues, they put their headphones on. I was wondering, does that really help? Because it's pretty loud.
It helps for if it's active noise canceling, it will help because if it's like a low like frequency droning sound in the background, that cancels out, so you won't hear it.
Oh.
But if you are close enough and this kind of construction is vibrating the building, you're still gonna feel it. Yeah. But it helps with the noise. And I think over at my previous workplace, when they had construction for the hospital, like near the pharmacy, where it could be considered kind of like a noise health issue where they can damage their hearing, they actually issued out headphones or earbuds, not earbuds, but the earmuff things.
Earbuds?
The earmuff, like the
earmuffs. Okay.
They issue that out to every worker so that it would prevent them from hearing loss. So.
Oh, okay.
Yeah.
Wow, that's nice.
Yeah, but it's also it was a government hospital, and then there was a union, so of course they did that. So it's like afraid of union.
Oh man.
Yeah.
So how about you, Tony? How are things on your end? How are you married now officially? Did I do my job?
I didn't hear any bad news, so I think that's good. I think you're.
How do you confirm this?
Well, I have to call them. They don't have like an online thing where I can look up to see if our marriage license was official or not. So yeah, I have to take a look at that like sometime later this week to call them. Okay. So we'll see.
How are things after like everything? Because then you pretty much had your wedding, have a few days to take a break, and then down to San Diego Comic-Con.
I mean, it wasn't really a break because I went back to work on Monday.
Oh, okay. Wow.
Yeah.
You had Sunday.
Yeah, it was okay. Sunday was all like family and friends, like get-togethers and stuff. Yeah. So remember
what
was that?
I said, oh yeah, I remember.
Yeah, I know. You were like, I am pretty sure you were there for the dim sum in the morning.
Yeah, but then we were all like really busy with our own stuff that day because people were getting back to work on Monday, and it was just like just curious how people just reconfigured themselves, I guess.
Yeah. I was glad that I was able to let you play the VR thing, even though it was a little bit, because I was afraid we wouldn't have time at all.
Yeah. It was pretty cool. I really enjoyed it.
Yeah. So can you tell the listeners about your experience of Oculus Quest?
Yeah, sure. So for listeners, Tony allowed me to play his Oculus Quest VR set while we were waiting for a boba store to open. So we were just playing right outside the parking lot. But it was actually a really cool experience. Everything was really light. The headgear was really light, and it was kind of weird because I felt like Iron Man. Because you look through it, when I put it on, I see outside like the real world, like what's there and and everything. So it looks like it just has like the HUD, pretty much. You would see in like Iron Man.
That was for configuration, right?
Yeah. And that was like, wow, I thought it would just be black. Everything would be pitch black and then with just like coordinates and everything. But no, this one was actually good. It's kind of like you're just looking through a glass, a digitalized glass, and then you start drawing things, and that was like, for me, that's really revolutionary in a good way.
It's so
where
it's so funny though, because you're saying it's so revolutionary that I can draw the barriers through the VR goggles, and yeah, that's just a configuration point. You haven't even played anything yet.
I did. I played like the ping
No, I
pong
know,
game.
but I mean like that part that you found revolutionary.
Yeah, no, but yeah, because I think like I used Oculus before, and always a lot of times the configuration is just like a dark screen, and then it will tell you just to like look here, look there.
Yeah.
So for me to have like a visual, like an actual background of like what's my actual surrounding is, was like, wow, this is a big step already. And so it was like, oh wow, this is cool. And then like you said, it's like, oh, it's only configuring like where the boundaries are. Because before I thought I didn't know how they were going to do the boundaries. I thought you have to have like physical objects that will determine the boundaries and not actually draw it on the ground. So I thought, I was like, oh, that's really cool. And surprisingly, if I played the ping pong game, which I don't remember the name.
Yeah, Racket Fury.
And it was surprisingly very intuitive. You still have your two Joy-Cons or joysticks, remote thing. And I played a little bit of ping pong, so I tried to do just like the regular moves to see how it feels. And it felt really natural. It's not like the thing where you feel like you're just like you have a mannequin hand and just do like, or like the Wii where you just go do like a forward and it would do like some sort of super move already. So it felt like I'm actually playing the game, and it felt really nice. It definitely has that sense of immersion that a lot of other VR sets kind of lack. I feel, but maybe it's just I haven't played the recent Oculus stuff yet, so I don't know.
Yeah, the Racket Fury game is one of the better ones out there, because when you just do the natural motions you think would work in a ping pong game, it actually works. So yeah. It feels like you're actually just holding a racket, and yeah,
exactly.
It's really cool. And I wish I had time to give you the chance to play the boxing game, the Creed boxing game, because that one is like, it's not as fluid as the Racket Fury game, but it's still pretty immersive because you can actually move around yourself. You know, like you're in that actual boxing ring and you step left and right and stuff like that.
Yeah, so it was actually really, really cool to see how like technology evolved over the past years. Because I think the first time I tried was like back in 2013 when was the first time I tried, and that was like when Oculus Rift was still in like their developing stage, and they were sending it out to a lot of studios to just try it out. And then I was lucky enough to be in one of those studios where the developers were testing it, and I just tried it on. And then recently, last year, I tried sculpting with VR on one of my friend's headset, and that felt okay. It didn't feel as intuitive as I wanted to be either, and it felt like it felt rather strange. Actually, it just feels really heavy, like on your face.
Yeah. Because the headset's really heavy on that one.
Oh yeah,
that's the older.
That and it was rather annoying because when you turn your head, you have like wires, so you have to be like very mindful of how much you turn, because it's like wrapping yourself up in wire, and that wire is connected to like your laptop or computer, and that could be really bad.
Yeah, like I know some people still like argue with me in terms of like, oh, don't get the Oculus Quest. It's like it's a waste of money. It's not as powerful. And then and they try to push me to get the PC with the wired VR set. And I'm just like, I've used wired ones before too. And I'm just like, you don't understand how it feels without the wires. Like once you do that, you don't ever want to go back to a wired set.
Yeah, I totally agree. Because I think for me, after I tried it, I think I even asked you about it. I asked you more about the Quest because I was really interested in it. Because for me, like, I would want to try to do some art stuff on it. And I hate the fact that if I were to set up to like a laptop or a computer, there's going to be wires around. And just like those invisible wire that are not invisible, but they're physically there, are going to be like distracting to you. Like you might be like really into it, the game or like whatever you're doing, and you swipe your hand really hard and then you whack the wire. It's kind of like when you're listening on your like headphones, like the wired headphones, and your hands just like moved out of the way and it just gets caught in the wire and it pulls up there. It's like that, but for your
Yeah,
face.
yeah, pretty much.
Yeah. So for me, like that thing itself really takes you out of the immersion, or it might be really cool what you're doing at the time, but you just have to be extra careful. And like Tony mentioned, this is like one like a deal breaker for me too. It's unfortunate that it's not as powerful because some of the stuff that I would like to see on the Quest, the hardware is just not there yet to support it.
Yeah.
But at the same time, it's going towards the right direction, I feel.
I think the Quest is actually one of the biggest steps in the right direction because it's still powerful enough that you can downscale. Like they are able to downscale the Rift games to release on the Quest, and it's still not as bad of a downscale because you can still make up. It's kind of like the Wii, right? Like the graphics are bad, but the gameplay is still solid for like that generation of gaming. So
that's true. No, I totally agree. I think like that's the only unfortunate, like for gaming wise, I think you won't be missing much at all going to the Quest. Maybe like a few really hardcore games at most. But it's only unfortunate for me because the software I use required me to have a dedicated video card. So it definitely requires something more powerful. Okay. But if I were to do something like very casual or just play games, like basic game stuff, the Quest is by far like one of the best VR experience I had.
Yeah, that's pretty cool that you were able to feel that way about it because I was actually hesitant because I know that I think for you you had like some issues with VR. So yeah.
Oh yeah.
Yeah. VR. So it's cool to hear that you actually enjoyed the Quest. So yeah.
I think like you know how like you always have bad experience and it's always kind of like make you very cynical, and then so it's just kind of like for me like the Quest. After like using a whole bunch of VR where you wear the headset and you have like all these gears wrapped on you, it feels really buggy. But the Quest felt very fluid for what it was. And it might not be as strong as like the rest of the stuff out there that's like the attached to computer and everything. But I felt like it has a very solid foundation so far. And then technology grows really fast. So in terms of hardware, I'm not gonna be like too surprised if like in the next 2-3 years the Quest might be able to support like more hardware intensive games.
So when you're talking about like a 3D kind of like creation app, have you heard of Gravity Sketch?
No, I haven't.
Look it up. Gravity Sketch is newer. And it just got released for the Quest like a month or two ago. And it looks really, really cool. Like, it's like, you remember Google SketchUp, right? Yeah, this is just SketchUp in VR. Yeah, and you're using your controllers for that. Like, if you look at some of the demo videos, it's really cool. On the Quest store right now, it has a 48 ratings and it's a 4.7. And everyone, 4.7 out of 5. And everyone's like, this is the Quest killer app. Like, you know, it's a really good one for designers. So I know that you were looking for something like that before. So maybe take a look at this and see if it's like something that might be beneficial for you.
Yeah. I definitely think I do feel like in the future, at least like by next year or something, there will be more apps. Yeah, but the Quest is relatively new, right? It's like last year or this year?
I think it was this year, right?
Yeah, I think it's this year. Yeah, it's August, right? I think it's just this year.
Yeah, it's like for me, I actually just want to get this Gravity Sketch thing. It's $30. I just want to get it just to even try it out. It looks so cool. Yeah. I'm looking at the stuff that's being made, and they go straight from like a blueprint of a car into like the full model. Like, it's crazy.
Oh yeah, it's released May of this year, so it's like super new. It's only like 3 months,
and it's like gotten so many good ratings already.
Yeah, so I mean, like with Quest, I imagine it kind of like Windows 10. I got it when it was like I got it when it just released because it's free, and then there was a whole bunch of bugs because there wasn't a lot of driver support for it at the time. So and within like a year or two, everything was supported and more stable and mainstream. So that's why I assume it's going to happen with the Quest as well. So it's going to be more stable, or there's going to be more software compatible with Quest.
I mean, there's like this new game that just got released that apparently is a lot of fun. It sounds a racket game, but it's like you're playing ping pong with Breakout. You know, Breakout, the old school game, like Arkanoid. So that sounds really
Yeah.
cool. Arkanoid with a freaking ping pong paddle. So
Yeah. So like I've always been like skeptical of VR for sure, and I'm very vocal.
yeah.
about it.
I know you are.
Oh yeah. So it is definitely like a big change of my perspective of how VR is heading, and with the recent experience, I'm a little bit more hopeful of VR than before.
I am glad that your mind has been able to change on this because I kept like harping on you like this is so cool. So yeah.
Yeah. No, I mean, like, I'm open to it. I was just like, I just haven't had that.
Yeah, I know. It's kind of like, you know, when you eat something, you get food poisoning, and then you never want to eat that thing again. So,
Oh, I see.
I mean, cost benefit.
It's like, oh, what's the worst that could happen? It won't happen twice or 3 times or 5.
Yeah. Oh man, you should look up. You know, Trevor Noah, the comedian. He had this thing about like the first time he ate tacos, and it was so funny because like the guy asked him, "Would you like a napkin?" And then for Trevor, like where he's from, napkin means like diaper. So, so he's like, "Why would I need a napkin?" He's like, "Oh, for the mess afterwards." So he was all freaked out about like tacos and stuff.
About what might happen after eating it.
And he's like, "No, I don't want a napkin," because he keeps thinking it's diaper, right? And then the guy's like, "Oh, you think you're safe now?"
Oh, I love those miscommunications. So good.
And then Trevor was saying something like, "Oh, like I'll just hold on to it tight, and then when I drive home, or something." Like he's like, "Oh, like if people like they think that they're safe, and then they try to hold on to it too tight, then it comes out everywhere. It gets on. It gets." So it's just a really funny miscommunication story.
Oh, I love it. It's so good.
It's part of his latest special. So check out, like, if you guys who are listening, like Trevor Noah, like comedians, check him out. The latest special is on Netflix, and it's really funny. There's like one part where he talks about like how like mumble rap just sounds like his little brother getting hurt and complaining about it.
Oh yeah. You sent me that one. That was really good.
Yeah. Anyway, you okay? We'll move on to the news. Okay.
Yeah, that's fine. Let's go.
All right. So several news items. I think for this week, I'm just gonna focus on gaming news because, like, I think last week I had like pretty comprehensive non-gaming news. Actually, you know what? We'll go over gaming news, and if we see anything else, then you know. But do you have any news?
No.
Okay. Cool. All right.
Okay, that's it. Actually, I don't know. I don't know. Will come back to me. I'll go back later.
Yeah.
I'll let you know. I'll see if it's
Yeah,
new or
because
not.
I'm looking at some stuff right now. I realize I have different, like, what's it called? I have different news feeds on this. Okay, so there's this video game. You know No Man's Sky, right? So they are releasing a new experience. It's called No Man's Sky Beyond.
Okay.
And I think it's VR. Let me see.
Okay.
It's launching on August 14th. Let's see. I'm trying to see if it's VR. I'm trying to confirm. Yeah, so you can actually be in VR or not VR, and you can. It's cross platform between VR and non VR. I mean, it's not really cross platform. It's just cross experience.
Oh, okay. How is that? Okay.
Because
I haven't played the No Man's Sky, so I guess I don't know what the gameplay is like. How the interaction.
I mean, the gameplay is first person exploration. That's pretty much it.
Yeah. But I guess like is it just the overall point just to go and explore, and you don't. It's not like it's pretty much just like Zelda minus like the fighting and
just like.
space.
Like claiming stuff and naming stuff, and I actually haven't played No Man's Sky because I never had any. I didn't hear a lot of good things beginning. I know it got better now, and people are like saying it's like really, really good now. But it's that initial impression kind of put me off. It's kind of like VR for you. So
Okay, I see.
Yeah. Let's see what other news. Oh, Mortal Kombat 11 releasing their first combat pack, which they released Shang Tsung already, so now they're releasing Nightwolf, and then Sindel and Spawn are going to be also released. So we'll see how that goes. And it's pretty cool that they're doing Spawn. Yeah.
Oh, Spawn's gonna be more. That's crazy.
Street Fighter V is adding E Honda, Lucia, and Poison.
Wait, he wasn't there
Guess
before?
not.
He's like the OG.
Yeah, I guess not. I didn't realize this. So I don't play Street Fighter V a lot. I have it. I just don't play it a lot. So it says that now the roster is growing to 38 characters with new characters on August 4th. E Honda, Lucia, and Poison. So yeah, I guess they weren't there before.
That's interesting. Oh, cool.
What else there? Oh wow. So Mortal Kombat live action movie. The screenwriter is also trying to make a BioShock movie. That sounds cool.
BioShock movie. Huh.
Yeah, don't know how that will come out. Oh, this is interesting. Mortal Kombat live action movie confirms that fatalities will be accurate to the games.
One stunt double per fatality.
Dude, that is pretty insane because the other Mortal Kombat movies we've had, they've all been like downplayed because it's too controversial and stuff.
Yeah.
But I guess nowadays rated R stuff is okay for that.
That's true. Yeah, the ratings has been pretty lowered. The standard has been pretty lowered compared to that.
Hey, do you know Green Panda Games? Oh.
No, I don't.
It's a mobile gaming company, and Ubisoft just acquired 70% in it. Yeah.
Oh, okay. Green Panda Games.
I'm not really sure what they make.
Yeah. Where are they? Oh, they're in France.
Yeah.
Okay.
I remember saying that. Saw that they're in France. That's why I asked you if you know.
Oh, yeah. No, I don't know about them. They seem to do like a lot of idle and a lot of tycoon games, but mostly idle games.
Okay. So idle games meaning like the ones that you have to wait and stuff?
Kind of like you buy stuff. Yeah, kind of like you wait. Like if you go around and if you go away and you come back, there'll still be progress. Is what I'm saying. So let's say you have a miner that's digging and you're trying to mine something like, I don't know, Bitcoin or something. But then you get like, you normally get like one Bitcoin every minute or something like that. And then you upgrade the axe to like a drill or something. And then you upgrade more, and then you get more. So you can actively just sit there and try to make it more progress faster, either by tapping or just buying upgrade as you go. Or if you choose to, you just go and let's say you have the drill upgrade, you go to work, come back, and then you turn on your phone after work, and then within the 8 hours, it'll tell you have mined X amount of Bitcoins already, and then you could have like all those coins to upgrade all at once.
This reminds me of that web-based game. Was it called Dominion? Do you know that? Or
no,
I don't know if it was Dominion or something else, but it was like a game where you log on to your account in a web browser, and then there's no graphics or anything. You basically manage your army and your medieval like castle, and then you just start like attacking people. And then you like set like, you want to research in this and stuff like that. And then you log out or whatever and do stuff. And when you come back to your game, when you log in, then you'll see like, if your attack was successful or if someone attacked you or things like that. It was like no graphical anything. It was just all like management.
That is pretty much where it is in a way. As core is just like a management sort of thing where you just go and you acquire a certain amount of resource over time. You can either actively be on and try to manage it, or you just acquire it over time, and then you when you come back to it, you have more of that resource and you just allocate it all at once.
Yeah, that's what I'm thinking. Yeah. It's probably not Dominion. I'm looking it up right now, but there was another game that was similar to that a long time ago. I remember this was back when in the Netscape days when I was just logging into Netscape like once in a while after school. So yeah, during high school, it was a high school game. So
yeah, so it's been.
Yeah. Okay, so next news item I have is League of Legends. They're removing Twisted Treeline at the end of the season. You know about Twisted Treeline? Yeah, so they're removing that, but they're making Teamfight Tactics permanent.
Oh, right. I could see that.
I didn't realize that Teamfight Tactics was a big thing until like a few days ago when my co-owner Andros, he was talking about it for the escape room. He was just talking about Teamfight Tactics. I was like, what is TFT? Then him and a few other people were explaining it to me, and I'm like, so it's a management game, but is it idle? Like, this is funny because you're talking about like idle games, right? I was like trying to understand, is it kind of the Clash of Clans or what is it? So they described it to me where it's like, okay, it's idle, but you're managing it as the fight is happening. So that sounds really cool. It sounds like I don't have to think too much of controlling each character or my character, but I'm doing it as like a strategy, like almost an RTS, right? So
yeah, it's pretty much like, it's almost like that. Essentially, you just go. You don't even have to work. It's not even like RTS where you could micromanage.
You actually just
the most you just do is just macro. You buy units, you
Yeah.
combine them, and then you set them in a position, and then after time ends, it just ends, and they just fight by themselves.
Yeah, I didn't even know about that. And it's funny because I was talking to him on Sunday about it. And then, like, as I'm driving home from Sunday, I was listening to either, I forgot which podcast. It was the Almost Better Than Silence or the Super Best Friends Video Game Sleepover. One of those two. So I was listening to it, and then they were talking about Teamfight Tactics. I was like, what the? This is pretty timely. And then now I'm looking at news articles. And yeah, Teamfight Tactics becomes permanent. And that's just like recent. So
Yeah, it's actually quite funny because you know how before with like League of Legends, before it was Dota, right? And then League of Legends become the next big
yeah,
thing.
I heard that Dota had started Teamfight Tactics stuff first. Yeah.
Yeah. Which is pretty funny. It's just like a repeat
Yeah.
again.
It's like Riot's just like, oh, they're doing this now. It's famous. Okay, we're gonna do it better. So
Yeah. So funny enough, it was like it was called Auto Chess for the
Yeah.
Dota version, and like Dota, it was like a mod
yeah.
of Dota. So Dota was like a mod of
Yeah.
StarCraft, right?
Oh no, Warcraft.
Yeah,
Warcraft.
or Warcraft. And then now the Auto Chess was like a mod of pretty much Dota. And then so it wasn't like an official thing at first, but people just started playing it. So it was like rather buggy and or not buggy, but it's rather clunky in some controls and stuff like that. But now it became like a big thing. It got really popular. It became a big thing. And you have like Teamfight Fortress or Teamfight Tactics. And then there's like another game called what's it called? Chess Rush. Yeah, so it's just really funny how like all these auto battlers are popping up again.
Yeah, thinking back about it too, Dota, right, is a mod of Warcraft. Warcraft was an RTS, and then Dota's kind of like granulated it down to like micromanaging just one character, and then now the
Yeah.
auto chess is like going back towards the RTS side. So it's like,
Yeah.
huh? What's going on? You're just migrating back towards it. It reminds me of the whole like Apple releasing the iPad and then the iPad mini and then afterwards the iPad like the Pro, which is larger than the iPad. Like, why are you going back and forth?
Oh, yeah.
And the phone sizes too. Yeah.
Oh yeah.
So
That's funny.
yeah. But then it's also funny because like, and then of course Riot will make it a standalone.
Yeah.
Yeah.
It's just kind of funny because it's like a matter now. It's like a whole thing of like auto chess, or like was it the whole League of Legends world versus the World of Warcraft world.
But then there's also Heroes of the Storm, which is like a Blizzard game.
Yeah, that doesn't count.
Okay.
It is a Blizzard game, and it's just the League of Legends version of it.
Yeah, but then
But-
Dota is the League of Legends of
Yeah, I know. Well, but I think it's because it was Valve, wasn't it?
No, was it? I thought isn't Dota a mod of Warcraft?
I think Valve adopted it, and then they claimed Dota.
How would they?
So it's not technically Blizzard
But
anymore.
does Dota use? So I never played Dota, so I don't know what the champions are like in Dota. Are they characters from Blizzard or are they just brand new?
No, they're characters from. They're not characters from Blizzard. They are. Wait, actually, I don't know. Let me see.
It's funny. I've never played Dota. I just went straight to League.
Oh yeah, me too. I never played Dota either. But I don't know. Listeners, please educate us. We are very new to this.
Yeah.
So I'm reading it. The wiki, it says, Valve adopted the word Dota, derived from the original mod acronym. Okay. As the name for slowly, blah, blah, okay. Okay, shortly after the announcement of Dota 2, Valve filed a trademark claim to the Dota name. So, who invented
No,
Dota?
the Dota game is a mod for Blizzard's Warcraft game.
Yeah.
But Dota,
So it should be using characters. Yeah. I think it is characters from
Huh.
there. Yeah. But then again, listeners, please educate us. We're fairly new to the Dota world, like the lore of
yeah,
such
I don't even know.
games. 'Cause
So
we
is
don't play
Dota being played or Dota 2 being played a lot? I don't even know.
Dota 2 is kind of the one being
Okay,
played a
then
lot.
yeah, Dota 2 is actually Valve because they got the guy from or the team from that made the original mod to be working under Valve. Yeah,
Oh, really?
so
Interesting.
development of Dota 2 began in 2009 when IceFrog, lead designer of the original Dota, was hired by Valve to create a modernized remake for them in the source game engine. So Dota 2 is completely standalone and a different gaming engine.
Oh.
Wow, interesting. Yeah, we probably have a lot of like Dota 2 fans that are probably hating on us right now.
Yeah, we're so sorry. We're just very new to this. Okay, so Dota is pretty much a Warcraft mod, so it should be from the Warcraft.
Yeah, I'm just wondering if Dota 2 because it's like a Valve game, if they would actually change all the stuff up, you know?
It shouldn't be, because I think I don't know.
It's like, you know,
Maybe you're
copyrighted
right.
characters, right?
Yeah.
Huh.
Yeah.
Now I'm curious about
I don't
like
know.
how Dota 2 plays because I've never played it.
From what I heard, it's similar to League in some sense, but at the same time, in some mechanics, it's more about snowballing. So if you can make yourself or get yourself to be like unstoppable in the early game, then you can 1v9 and you could pretty much carry the whole team by
Yeah,
yourself.
I did hear about that too. I heard that the game is a little bit less team based, and you have like some mechanics like denying creeps, which is, you know, you can level up your own character by killing your own minions.
Right. Yeah. Yeah. So there's a lot of small things that are happening. It's just a matter of like what you want in your gameplay. Because I've asked my friend who both came from Dota and who played League and then went to Dota for fun or just to see it out, and they pretty much had similar perspective where they said like, okay, yeah, it's pretty much you just need one person to carry the team. You can essentially make one person to carry the team, and it'll be really hard, if not impossible, to stop them in the later game.
Yeah.
So it's and then some people and my friend that played Dota really likes that.
Oh, okay.
So I'm like, okay, that's up to you.
Yeah, I guess it's like, would you rather be the Power Rangers or would you rather be the Planeteers?
Yeah, yeah. So to each their own. I don't know how much has changed. This is like me talking about it 4 years ago. So a lot might have changed with the balancing.
Yeah, that's the same things for me too. The last time I even knew anything about it was talking to my friend who I tried to get him into League, but he preferred the mechanics of Dota because of the ability to have, what was that?
To like deny creeps and get stronger on
like
your
it
own.
was more individual focused. So
Yeah.
that was many years ago. So who knows what's changed? I would think they wouldn't change it that much because that's what makes it different from League.
Yeah.
Let me see. Do I have any other news items? Going back to my news feed. What the heck? Captain Toad?
The new game.
Yeah, it's for Nintendo
Switch?
Labo. Yeah. Do you know anything about that?
No, I heard about it, but I didn't see anything about it yet.
Oh, yeah. I don't know. I remember I talked about this last week, but Doom 1, 2, and 3 got released on the Switch. And yeah.
Oh yeah. I didn't. But I heard about you because you bought the.
Yeah, I
3,
bought
right?
actually 1, 2, and 3. So 1 was only $5, you know? So it's an old game, but I still enjoy playing it. So I've actually never sat through and played the whole game from start to finish before. I didn't realize that. Like, because back then all I did was I used the codes for like all the weapons and then the code for level select and then the code for God mode, but I never actually played through it because all I cared about was the action. But now when I'm playing through it, I realize there's a lot of like searching because you got to go around and find the keys and you got to explore the whole map because there's like there's doors that are locked down by the keys, and then you also maybe need to get radiation suits so that you can walk through the green lava without getting hurt. There's a lot of like tiny mechanics in there I never realized because I never really cared for it.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Makes
Yeah,
sense.
I'm a little afraid of playing Doom 3 because I know that the big complaint about Doom 3 was you were too heavily reliant on the flashlight because everything's dark. Yeah.
Oh, okay.
I remember when I did try to play it on my old computer back then, I was getting 9 frames per second. So
Oh,
I
jeez.
could not play it.
Wait, Doom 3 was when like the newer graphics the graphics were considered like a level up,
Yes,
right, from the
yes.
previous. Yeah, okay, I remember
Yeah.
Doom 3 now. I remember a friend play it. It was rather dark.
Yeah,
I agree.
because then that game came out, but my computer was still barely serviceable to Counter-Strike, and I was trying to play Doom 3.
Oh,
Yeah,
okay.
so I remember that very clearly. I'm like, I wasted money on this, and I can't play it. Yep, let me see. Street Fighter V will be free to play for a limited time in August.
On the Switch?
No, on the PS4 and Steam.
Okay.
Steam. If you want to get it for Steam, it's free for August. Let's see.
Okay, cool.
Super Smash Bros. Ultimate may get new characters. PUBG Mobile Lite, Pokemon.
Oh yeah, Destiny 2 is gonna be, I guess, cross experience is what they're calling it.
Oh, okay.
So it's not like a it's kind of cross-platformish. So people from on PC can play with people on Destiny 2. Cross experience, because they have to. The people from, let's say, PlayStation, they have to have their game saved, and then go onto the PC and then load that save game and play on the PC.
Oh, okay. So it's like a continuum kind of.
Yeah, so it's like I think they call it cross experience, but not really a platform, because it's still PC to PC.
Yeah. Okay. Let's see. Okay, so the video game news is done. I'm trying to look at the other like normal like pop culture news, and I'm not seeing much right now. Have you watched The Boys on Amazon Prime?
No, I
It's
haven't.
really good, and then they already have like a plan for a second season. Let's see. Doctor Strange 2. No, nothing there. Hobbs and Shaw. Oh, Hobbs and Shaw. Let's see. The Fast and Furious spinoff. They have the reviews are in.
I'm actually pretty excited for what was it? His Dark
Oh, yeah.
Materials.
I haven't watched that trailer yet.
Yeah, because I read the book or the trilogy.
What's
or
the
whatever.
basic?
And that was
What's
really
the basic
interesting.
premise of it?
Sorry. It's pretty much something is happening in the world, a mystery is happening in the world, and it involved like multiple worlds. I don't know what they were describing in the trailer, but based off the book, that is pretty much what you get. There's a mystical object in the world that helps. That is used to solve mysteries.
Man, so it's like a giant MacGuffin for the whole book series.
Yeah, but it involved it's pretty much like a girl trying to unveil her history and her past and why she's
Sounds
important.
like Da Vinci Code a little bit. Cause
I haven't watched it yet.
Da
so I
Vinci
don't
Code is
know.
all about finding the Holy Grail.
Oh, okay. Yeah, but I mean, from what I saw, it looked decent. It looked pretty good because a couple years back, like 10 or something, was when they had the Golden Compass.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, and that was like one of the book series based off His Dark Materials series.
I didn't know that.
Yeah. So that's why when I was watching the trailer, I thought like everything looked familiar, and then it clicked to me that His Dark Materials was pretty much the name of the whole series. So the Golden Compass, the something knife, and then something.
Oh,
and then
I
something else.
remember this.
But pretty much the movie Golden Compass sucked big time.
Oh, I thought that they stopped the series because the two sequels got into like really controversial topic.
Oh yeah, it's
Yeah.
very religious.
Yeah, and I thought that was
the,
why.
the book itself is very religious.
Yeah, because I remember the Golden Compass and how people were speculating that they may not make a sequel because it's too risky in terms of like the religious like what's it called, something overtones. Yeah,
But anyways, well, I'm glad it stopped
yeah.
because that movie was horrible.
And speaking of
I don't normally bash on movies, but man.
oh, okay. Well, speaking of movies, Zombieland finally has a sequel announced.
I heard it. I actually never saw Zombieland, but
Dude,
I heard it's really
Zombieland
good.
was so funny. Like, it was so like if Left 4 Dead was a movie. Like that's pretty much what Zombieland is. It's the closest thing you'll get to a Left 4 Dead movie.
Oh, okay.
You remember Left 4 Dead? Yeah, right? It's like kind of like serious, but then
Yeah.
it's also comical. Yeah, Zombieland's a little bit more on the comical side, but it is 4 people. And it's like they each have their own like little traits. There's like the old like cowboyish guy, and then there's the young kid, there's the hot girl, and then there's the little kid. You know, like it's very similar to the
Yeah.
structure of Left 4 Dead.
Yeah. Well, I mean, we'll see how it goes. I hope it does well. Is it directed by the same person?
Everything's the same. They got all the original cast, and it's crazy because it's based like 10 years later because the movie is actually, what's it called? The last release 10 years later, 10 years ago. And so everyone aged appropriately.
Oh, wow,
Yeah.
that's pretty cool.
Because like in the original one, the little girl was a little girl, and now she's like a teenager.
Oh,
Yeah.
10 years, right? Yeah. That's,
Yeah, so it's pretty cool. I'm really excited because I really like the original one.
Yeah, that'd be interesting to see.
Yeah.
I need to watch it.
Yeah. Hey, have you heard of anything from The Lion King, or did you see it yet?
No,
Okay.
I refuse.
Yeah, I heard not good things because you know how like the original animated cartoon of Lion King, it was a cartoon, so you could emote their emotions very easily through
Face.
cartoon. Apparently,
Yeah.
because they're trying to keep it realistic, it wasn't as easy to emote for with the live
Yeah.
action, so you felt like it's missing something, and then like it just doesn't feel like it's as
Oh yeah,
like,
I know exactly what you mean. I think my friend, one of my colleagues, he saw it recently, and then he said like, "Oh, it's not bad, but I wish they didn't make it into a documentary." I was like, "Oh, that's actually a very accurate depiction."
Huh. So maybe it's like a so it's in the National Geographic version of The Lion King.
Yeah, National Geographic, pretty much. Yeah, so because I'm like, I think he had the same feeling. Like when they do like the musical piece of what do you call it? Can't Wait
Yeah.
to Be King, stuff like that. It was like very colorful, very musically, like Broadway.
Mm-hmm.
And then I just can't imagine how it will look when it's like National Geographic trying to do that. And it would just be like really awkward and weird.
Yeah.
It's like they're trying to do something. It's like trying to train your pets to do something, and you try to dub it.
Yeah. Yeah. It becomes one of those Vine videos.
Yeah, so I haven't seen it yet, so I can't fully judge it. But from just my imagining it, it just feels really weird, and I don't plan to go see it anytime soon. And I think I sent you like the video, or not video, like the picture of like how another artist on the internet tried to
Oh, yeah.
revise it to get better, right? Yeah, and it's like, oh my god, if it was anything like that, I would actually watch it.
Yeah, because it still kept that cartoony look.
Yeah, it's the whole same ideal. For listeners who don't know, the artist pretty much did like a makeover design, kind of like what the internet did for Sonic. So it was very positively received.
Yeah. Oh yeah, sorry, go ahead. No, I was
No,
going to
go
change
ahead.
topics,
That's
but go
it.
ahead.
Okay, yeah. No, I was just gonna say like, if it looked a little bit more cartoony and kept everything the same, it would have been. I would have considered the newer generation for Lion King. But since it's just a National Geographic thing, it's considered a documentary.
Yeah. I was going to say, speaking of CG though, do you know that new movie starring Will Smith called Gemini Man?
No.
So Gemini Man is about an old Will Smith on the run from a hitman young Will Smith clone.
Okay.
Yeah, so it's actually directed by Ang Lee, which is interesting.
The movie sounds familiar. Sorry.
Yeah, no, it's not like that Bruce Willis one from a long time ago.
Okay.
Yeah, there's no like time travel in this
Thinking
one.
of Looper.
Yeah, Looper was time travel, but this one is a clone. But yeah, but they made. So I was talking about CG because I was watching like those like featurettes for the movie.
Mhm.
For this particular movie, they didn't de-age Will Smith. What they did was they made a fully CG human, like from nothing, based on Will Smith, from all the footage from his younger days.
Ooh, what? Wow.
Yeah,
that's
this
cool.
will be the first time that someone's trying to pass an entire person as CG, or CG as a person in a movie, and they're like, everything is good until the face. It's like very tough to do.
Yeah.
But we'll see, because like for the trailer already, it looks like there's a little bit something off, but then it's still serviceable that this guy's a clone,
Oh, okay.
But man,
Yeah.
if they can do this successfully, it kind of puts like actors in a weird spot.
Yeah, but I mean, like right now, actors are still used even though they're like CG.
Yeah, that's motion capture though. Yeah.
Yeah,
But this one,
yeah, but I mean, they still use face as one.
yeah, but this one is straight up like the entire character. So right now, Will Smith does still do the motion capture and stuff for this actor, or the stand-in will do it. But like, it's so crazy that this whole character is completely CG, like built from the ground up. Like that's insane. Because like, you know, Marvel movies, they've been using actors and de-aging them, like Samuel L. Jackson or you know, Agent Coulson, or you know, some of the other characters. They've just been doing de-aging, so you still have the same actor. They just CGI their face to make them look younger. But this is just completely fully CG. So it's just like, I don't know. It blows my mind that they're able to be doing that.
I mean, at the same time, I'm not too surprised because I actually saw, there was like a breakdown reel of like of the end game of Avengers Endgame, where they had the Hulk, and it's pretty much like the Hulk was pretty much all character, all CG, and we just like the face.
The difference with
mocap.
that is the Hulk is a fantasy character, so you expect him to look like whatever. You have leeway of like what he can look like.
Oh,
But
I see
this
what
is
you mean.
like a human.
Yeah.
You're CGIing a human.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, you're right.
Yeah,
I see what you
that
mean, yeah.
part is like what's like trippy is that the CG character. It looks so much like a human. You can mistaken him for a human.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, it's kind of, I guess it's a scary thing that you're talking about. I
Yeah.
see what you mean now. Yeah.
Yeah, so like pretty much like there'll be in the future. What if the whole movie is just the actors are all CG? You know, like there's no
Yeah.
more. Like it's just, you know, these are all just like characters or CG characters.
Yeah.
But anyway, that was like a random a side topic. But I don't have any other news, so let's move on to the topic.
Oh, I actually have
okay.
one news. But then this is like a weird news sort of I don't know, a breaking news sort of thing. So about a few weeks ago, like 2-3 weeks ago, in Japan, there was like one of the animation studio was burned down by
Yeah, I
an
remember
arson. Yeah, so so what happened, listeners, was pretty much somebody came in, poured gasoline, and then burned the building, and a lot of victims died. Like there was like 35 people and then 25 casualties. So it's like it's about 75% at least. And the reason for that, the arsonist was arrested, of course, and from what was announced so far, is pretty much it was something where he kind of claimed that they stole his work and plagiarized some of the stuff. Like during one of the competition, he was denied, and probably something happened where they might have released something that was similar. So then he probably just got really angry, and either it's true or not, I don't really know, but he believed it to be true, to be the case. And so that was like the reason for that. And it's pretty tragic because like we all know that a fire happens, and most of the time people get out safe, but this is like people don't get out safe. People die trapped in the building, and it's like intentional. Whereas like there's gasoline, where the guy poured gasoline. And
Yeah,
everything.
so
it's-
yeah, I'm reading that article too. So there's his side, and then there's also the police side saying he had a mental health issue. So yeah, like we don't really know still, you know.
Yeah, so we don't know what the real situation is, but all in all, it's a pretty tragic event
Yeah,
happened.
and it's also like for what you talk about the fire thing is you know, Japan is a lot of things are built upwards, so it's very packed, and they make good use of space. But because they make good use of space, it becomes more risky for things like this when there's like a kind of like a disaster, right?
Right. Yeah.
You've been to Japan. You already know that, right? So
Yeah. So it's crazy. Yeah. So I'm reading it from like more, and some died from like being burnt. Others died from like just carbon monoxide poisoning.
which is dangerous.
And it's just
like
like,
you don't even know.
Yeah. It's one of like those subtle things that no one really knows about because it doesn't happen as often, but it's super dangerous.
Yeah.
But that's it. That's all the news I have. Sorry, there's a downer topic, but I thought I should let the people know.
Yeah,
just
I mean,
in
it's
case.
good to know about that too, because it is like something that happened recently, and it is a big topic that sometimes it gets missed because it is in Japan. So the U.S. news or other countries may not report it as much. So yeah.
Yeah.
All right, let's move on to the topic.
Topic of the episode.
All right, so the topic is the future of gaming. With the cough. No, I'm joking. Sorry, I just had to clear my throat. So we're going to be talking about like what we think about the future of gaming in 10 to 20 years from now. So let's start.
Okay. What do you think, Tony? So, like, seeing the progress of like VR and everything, what do you think we'll be at in like 10, 20
Well,
years?
in the immediate part, like, let's not even, like, for me, I don't want to even talk about the VR side of things, but I want to talk about the console and handheld side of things. Like,
Yeah,
that is confusing because Nintendo kind of put in the situation that's weird now with the Switch. So it's like a hybrid between handheld and, console. And then with everyone getting so much more busy, I don't know how many people are going to be in the market for a console system sitting down and gaming,
That's true. Do you think the games will change to make it more accessible for people who like have less time? I guess it's
that's
like that.
essentially how the mobile game market started, right? Is that they optimize the game for people who, want to just log in on their phone every once in a while to play.
Yeah,
so
exactly.
I forgot to mention this, but Nintendo recently announced the Switch Lite, and the Switch Lite is pretty much the Switch without the docking feature, and the controllers are fused into the Switch, and pretty much all the console focused things are gone. So it's a handheld version of the Switch.
Oh, okay.
Which means they're going more towards handheld, but at the same time they still have the Switch, which is like hybrid console. So I don't know where that's going, but it seems like if this continues to be successful, then I think PlayStation, like Sony and Microsoft should be considering, handheld side or like even just a hybrid side,
Yeah. I mean, do you think because PlayStation has like the Vita, do you think they'll in order to compete with like Nintendo, do you think they'll actually start redesigning the PS Vita to be more towards that route? I mean, it's already out, but it's just more popular. More mainstream.
Vita is actually no longer supported. They already end production like back in March. So
really?
Yeah, they're still supporting some of it. They just released a software update last week actually to patch like a what's it called, a vulnerability that can allow for hacking of it. But other than that, they're pretty much not doing much with the Vita.
So you think they'll probably just stay away from the handheld market for a while?
Yeah, I don't know,
What do you
because they already have the PS5 announcements. So I don't know if they're gonna create a Vita 2 to like companion the PS5 or not. But it's just so much more money, right? So why would people do a Vita 2 if they have the PS5 if they're going to pay that much for PS5?
That's
the nice
true.
thing about the Switch is you're paying that one price for a device that can be handheld or console.
Yeah, that's true. Yeah, I feel like the success of the Switch is because the games are actually fun.
Yeah, I mean the games are like, because they are also console focused too, right? Like they can be console.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
So yeah. Also, I think what made the PS Vita successful was because it was one of those systems that had the ability to be hacked for homebrew. So it had a huge homebrew, like what's it called, community. Nintendo Switch right now actually does have that hack as well. So there is a homebrew community for it. But in addition to that, it's just such a good device that that has like the convenience of being both handheld and console. So
Yeah.
I don't know.
Yeah, I see what you mean. Yeah, there's always like a homebrew community. Like I think the 3DS had a homebrew community.
3DS homebrew was so hard to do though, because you got to get special cartridges.
Yeah.
But yeah, so I don't know. Like I think the console. So there's two schools of thought, right? One is we're going towards handheld. The second is what you mentioned, VR. We're also going towards VR.
Yeah.
But if the big three want to go towards VR, they need console systems that are powerful enough to run it.
Yeah.
Unless they go the standalone VR route where Oculus released the Quest, which is like a self-contained system.
Yeah, that's true.
So yeah.
I hope they become to that. I hope actually it just becomes a standalone and it doesn't require some sort of port either like from PC or from from a console. I mean, it's nice that it's adaptable, but I would like to see where it's a possible standalone.
Yeah, I think they're working on the PSVR 2, is it? But I think so.
Okay.
But I know that the current PSVR is also going to be compatible with the PS5. Like they already said that they're going to be compatible forwards.
Oh, really? Okay. Do you think do you think we'll ever see the Google Glass make a reappearance again?
Wait, hasn't it? Let me see.
I mean, it has, but it's not as mainstream as you would think.
Yeah,
right?
because there's like other options out there nowadays for like AR. Because I think Google Glass is Google, right? I think the biggest AR right now is the Microsoft HoloLens.
Yeah.
So I don't know if Google can come out with a competitor strong enough right now.
Yeah, but I actually kind of would like to see more of that in the future, like because like AR, the whole virtual reality thing is becoming a lot. The tech is actually there now, where they can actually start doing things or like I guess approaching things a little bit more smoothly and having a less clunky.
Yeah.
But I think probably in like 20 years or something, they'll find an alternative to something where you don't require a phone.
And speaking about the AR VR, I really kind of so we're talking about gaming, but I think we should. Well, what I want to see is more of it's what it's called a gamification, which is to make things like a game in healthcare, actually. So they already started doing that with certain things. And there's like so many cool uses for VR in like healthcare. Like one of the VR uses that I can talk about, one of my colleagues was part of like the company. He was like one of the co-founding companies. He, it's not gaming, but it's environmental stimulation. So for kids who are autistic, they get stimulated by what's it called? They get like anxious and uneasy and uncomfortable environments. So it becomes very difficult for them to go to the doctor's office. So so what they did was they used VR to kind of map out like what the doctor's office looks like and then put the kids into that environment first. So they get used to that environment in a VR setting. So when they're really at the doctor's office, they don't get overstimulated and anxious.
Oh, okay. So it's kind of like going to your doctor's office.
Yeah, kind of. So that's like a really cool use that they're using in healthcare. And I think other things too, like the gamification side of things, you can make things into a game that can help educate patients on their medication or something like that, So...
do you have any thoughts or plans of what they could possibly do to...
I mean, like one of the things is that using AR so that, they have like all their medications for today that they're supposed to be taking, but they don't remember which one. So it's kind of like, hey, you get like these points if you can select which medication you're supposed to be taking. But because the AR can detect like the bottle of which medication they're scheduled, so like it becomes like a goal-oriented thing to, unlock this achievement when you take your medication on time for the 10 days or something like that, So it's like little like achievement unlocks for them. Because that's the whole like point of the achievement unlocks in console gaming anyway. They don't do anything. It's just knowing that you achieved it and then you're OCD about, achieving 100%.
Oh, yeah. I totally agree. It's pretty much just like, I mean, that's how the game works, right? It's the progression of things that makes you want to continue. And I think like a while back, there was like an app or just like a website for like exercising sort of thing where it's like, oh, here's a goal. Here's, do like 20 push-up and gain 20 experience points or something. And then you level up sort of thing,
Are
right?
you talking about...
So you set like certain exercising
Are you
regimen.
talking about Fitocracy?
Is that what it's called? I don't remember the name.
I think I still have the app. I haven't used it for a while because I work out with other stuff now. But I'm looking at it. There's like you could attempt quests, like earning points to complete quests.
Oh, okay. It's more or less pretty much just that. But it's just like making it fun, right? So it's kind of like we're saying gamifying it, and it does work. Like it makes you motivated to try. Like even though it's like short term, because people might get, depending on the personality, you might get bored of the same thing, and you find like a loophole or some sort of thing around it, exploit. But it does, in the short term, it does work for sure. It gets you to try things out and make it fun or feel like you accomplished something. And I think that's like a great step. It might be superficial in the beginning, but normally you would not even do it at all. So at least you tried. It makes you try.
And the whole VR experience with like no wires, it's like lending to like a lot more of that. Like for healthcare, like if you want to get fit and stuff like that, it's so much better now. Like on the Oculus Quest, I'm just like, it's so awesome playing the boxing games. It's so awesome playing like Dance Central, which is like a kind of like a Just Dance game, but in VR. So you're not limited by anything. You can do like 360 spins and stuff like that. So yeah.
Do you feel like with what you've seen technology has done today, we'll be able to achieve something similar or maybe close to it as in Ready Player One?
I think we can. I think we'll eventually get there. I think we will surpass what Ready Player One has. Because Ready Player One is still like, this is a creative thought process of a writer, but I think, like a lot of technologies are based off of like science fiction where, someone wrote about this, we're going to attempt to do this, but we have better ideas. So it's really interesting because it's like, we don't know what we don't know and someone out there is innovating it.
Yeah, I do agree.
Yeah. Like one of the things I was thinking, how do you even get the sense of smell into VR? Someone's going to be doing that. Actually, there's a Kickstarter for that. I don't know if you know, but...
Oh, I didn't know that. Yeah. No, not at all.
So there's like trying to get all the five senses into VR.
Wow. Yeah, I mean, it's actually really cool. Because we're very limited with just like Ready Player One. It's like, was it 5 years old, 6 years old? Oh, I don't know. However old that book is. It's based on what the technology had offered back then. And then they were just trying to imagine like what would happen in like 10, 20 years from now, right? And it's just like, okay, well, we don't know, but we're going to make this random things up. And then us in like 5 years, we already see like all that technology happening. And as we see it, we're like, oh, it's potentially like we're almost there. We have what it takes. It just takes time to upgrade hardware and stuff like that.
Yeah. One of the things though I'm worried about that is when it gets applied to the workplace. So I'm thinking like, okay, we have a workstation now. It's a small screen, blah, 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 right? We have a keyboard and mouse and stuff like that. So it's a good and bad thing in the sense that VR can give us the illusion that we have a larger office space where you can wear the goggles and suddenly you have like this 20, 30 inch monitor that you can do work off of with your keyboard and mouse. But it's a bad in the sense that I'm afraid of it being taken advantage of by, employers so that they can cram more people in smaller like cubicles because in the VR space, it's larger.
I see what you mean. Yeah. I do hope I actually kind of I hope that we don't go that route. I hope we go more of the route where we can explore real things, like real atmosphere, but just like with a digital paint over.
Oh yeah, I would love to go to like Machu Picchu just in VR and not like have to risk falling off and dying, Yeah.
Oh yeah. But I mean, like I would actually like to be able to just walk around, like have like a safe zone sort of thing, and walk around and not worry about like running into a wall or too much of a dangerous wall or anything like that. Because I don't really want to be like cramped up, like you said, standing in one spot, looking around and moving by walking on a treadmill instead. I don't really want that. I actually just kind of feel like we're actually going somewhere and moving our body and everything's somewhat projected.
Well, I think there's that one. I don't remember if it was something the military had or some consumer thing had, but it's like a dome floor. It's like maybe like a giant circular dome floor that is, it's concave, right? But it's also super slippery. So whichever direction you walk in, it's like a 360 treadmill because it's slippery.
Oh, okay,
right?
okay.
You kind of see what I'm talking about?
Yeah. Okay,
yeah, and then I think using that can give a really good illusion of you actually moving somewhere or even running, right? You just try not to fall. So
yeah, that's true.
Man, now I want to get that.
Yeah,
whatever that is.
Oh yeah. Just wait 20 years, Tony.
No, I thought I saw it a few years ago.
Oh, it's already there. But for it to be mainstream, it's going to be like 10, 20 years.
Let me see. 360 treadmill gaming. I'm looking it up right now.
Yeah, it should be already there.
Oh, virtual Omni. Whoa, what the heck?
Omni treadmill, something like that.
$3,000.
I mean, it's not bad because a regular treadmill is already like 2,000 or something.
Oh yeah,
right?
depending. Yeah. Or there's the
Yeah,
Catwalk Mini VR, which is 2,300. That's also very similar, but then you have a thing you have to wear to your back.
Oh,
There's a
it's kind of. I'm just kind of thinking like I'm pretty sure it's gonna get cheaper with every year, kind of like 3D printers. So now like they're pretty accessible,
yeah, that's true.
and it's within like 5 to 10 years that it became pretty cheap. The materials are cheap, and buying it is still expensive in a way, but for what it is, it's actually not too bad.
Yeah, I'm looking at one on eBay that's $15,000.
Oof.
Would you like that for?
Yeah, you just
Yeah,
need
would
to
you like
wait.
that for a virtual environment?
Yes, please. But just 10 times cheap or 100 times cheaper.
Man, I really like the Cat VR Mini. It looks really cool.
Let's see. Cat
It's
with a
K.
K or with a C? Okay. Cat VR Mini.
I think it's Catwalk Mini.
I see it.
Oh, there's like video demos too of people using it. Oh,
Yeah.
wow. It's cool because they're running, and then in the first-person shooter game, like they're really running. Like, that's crazy.
Oh, that's cool. They have like support,
Yeah.
the back support to stabilize you.
Because then it also, affects how you look up and down, right, in the game?
Yeah.
Wow, that's probably to prevent motion sickness.
Oh, maybe. Yeah, you're right.
Dang, that is so cool. Yeah, I want one, but I don't have enough money for that. The Omni is like, the only 3,000 of them have been shipped.
Oh, man. Yeah, but it's actually really cool.
Yeah. Anyway, what else about the future of gaming?
So going with like the Labo and stuff, where there's like real objects or objects you can make that's interactive. Do you think you see that in the future, or do you think there's a place for that or market for that?
I think that the only place I can think of like that being a market is just for kids growing up and then just being introduced to gaming or basic gaming concepts. Just like that's the new like kids toy, you know?
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. I mean, there's also an argument where, you know, when 3D printing becomes more mainstream, then that can be a way of like budget gaming.
Yeah, because that's exactly what I'm thinking right now. It's kind of like, if this is probably not going to be in 20 years, but more than that. But it's kind of like, you know, like those in those sci-fi books or whatever, you have like those dispensers where it just generates something
Oh, yeah.
for you, which is pretty much the 3D printers we have now. But it's more like, oh, what if you play an RPG game and you unlock something like an item or a weapon or something, and it 3D prints for you something that's small, and then you just put the parts together, and that part is somehow you can use it as a remote. So it becomes, let's just say it'll print you a shield, right? And then you could use like a mini shield to block and move and everything. So use it concurrently with like the VR. You can use that as an item for remote to block or whatever, but you gotta keep the item.
That's an interesting idea, but I think there's problems with it because how will... I mean, if people just wanted to get that item to keep it, they could probably just find a blueprint somewhere.
Oh, yeah.
Because
Yeah.
I guess the only way that you can use an item in the game is that if within the 3D printing is that it also prints some kind of like code that will be recognized by the game.
Yeah. I think that's pretty much it. I think unless like we generalize, probably like for balancing purposes, like we just generalize it as in like it will print out a sword, and then in the 3D world it will be represented as the sword of, I don't know, legend.
Yeah. The sword of the legend of the last legend.
Yes.
Yes.
But yeah, I'm just trying to figure out like what if we'll have a place or like something that's useful for like Labo, because it's an interesting concept of building your own stuff and making it useful. But it's like you said, it's just like a intro to gaming for kids.
Yeah. I mean, it's also could be like the new Lego. Is that why they call it like Labo to like mimic Lego?
Oh,
I
maybe.
always wonder why did they say Labo? It could just be lab.
No.
It's like lab? No, lab.
No. Let them know.
Yeah.
Yeah, that's probably how we came up with it. Some guy said, let's call it lab. And some guy's like, no, with our powers combined. Lab, no.
I think one of the other things I really want to see is instead of AR, like I want to see some kind of like holographic gaming. I know it's a little bit like less realistic, because it does require a lot of extra stuff that projects on the extra like stuff around you. So it's not like a space saving thing. But the difference between holographic gaming versus AR gaming is that holographic gaming can be a spectator sport too, like just people watching you.
That's true. Yeah, I mean that's like the biggest constraint right now with AR, right? Is because everybody has to watch it through like a phone, and then or like at least a Google Glass or HoloLens. And I think just by getting rid of that, it becomes, or by having it something projected for everybody to see, that becomes like a hologram.
Yeah, or a green screen, but then that's more work.
Yeah, but green screen on is great because it's like if you want to, like, let's say you want to play like a shooter game, like you go around and you shoot like, I don't know, target something. If it's like a green screen, it's okay, but if it's like a hologram, you feel like there's more dimension to it.
Yeah, that's true. Because in the green screen, but then for green screen, you would see the entire environment for a VR setting. So hologram is a little weird.
I mean, it could be a combination of both, but I mean, like I'm guessing it's more like if it's green screen you use for like some backdrops. It's fine, but if you use it for something you might interact with, as in like you want to see, if you shoot something, you want to see it like combust or I don't know, burst or something like that. You want to see like more of a 3-dimensional thing, so you could shoot at different angles, right? So it's kind of like those roller coaster rides, like Buzz Lightyear at Disneyland, where you go around, you shoot things, and you want to be able to shoot from different angles and not just that one flat green screen.
Yeah, that's true.
Yeah.
Okay, cool. Do you have any other things about the future of gaming?
No.
Okay, cool. All right, let's move on to the mailbag.
You got mail. You got mail. You got mail. You.
All right, so mailbag was actually we already had this question. I just never got a new question. Huh.
Oh.
Wait, what was the question last week? Was it, what was your favorite announcement? Yeah, what was your favorite announcement from Comic-Con?
Oh, was that last week? Okay. I guess for me it would be like the Historic Materials TV series. That's pretty cool.
Okay, cool. I think for me and Lam, it was the Hong Kong actor Tony Leung being casted as the Mandarin in Shang-Chi from Marvel. So yeah. We'll move on to the game time just because I didn't post this question last week, so I'm going to post it this week. So
yep.
All right, give me a topic you want to do for heads up.
Games, I guess. Video games, fine.
It's about to start. Okay, oh my gosh. 1, 2, 3. Okay, now think of a car. Well, that's a racing game that starts with that.
Forza?
Yeah, okay. You catch monsters while you're walking around. Yes.
Pokemon Go.
This is the zombie game with 2 people that are the
oh my god, what's the girl called? The one with the little girl, right? What's it called?
Not first.
Yes. Last of Us.
Okay. Professor Xavier, his hair. Whoa. Okay.
Bald.
Okay, that's the first part of this game. And then the fence thing that is large and you have to open to get into something. Yes.
Baldur's Gate.
Master Chief. Yes.
Oh, Halo.
Simon Belmont and Dracula and a whip.
Castlevania?
This is a first-person shooter game. It looks like a cyberpunk style game. It's no, it's not cyberpunk. Oh my gosh, it's old. It's when you break up from your girlfriend, then they become what? They are now called your what? Okay, that's part of the name of this game. That's like the second part of this game. So what is the opposite of night?
Deus Ex.
Okay. This one is about a place that's surrounded by water and it has like primates on it.
Water? What? Land of what?
Oh, time's up.
Primate.
Yeah, it's The Secret of Monkey Island. Yeah.
Oh, because I think I never played it. That's why I never ran.
Well, I don't know how to describe it, so I never played it either. I just like, oh, it's a place surrounded by water with primates. Yeah. Okay. Yeah, I'll do video games too. Let's see if we can do this.
Okay, hold on. Let me find the list.
Or if you want to like change it to like specific video game types, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, I'll try to see if I can figure something. Hold on. Yeah.
Maybe first person shooters. I don't know. I actually don't
Oh,
know.
okay. I was gonna do. Oops.
Or whichever.
Oh, sorry. I was trying to load something, and I actually turned off my ad blocker.
Oh, okay.
Wait. Sorry. Yeah, let's do it first person. Let me see what the lists are. Oh, give me one moment.
I really
please.
hope I know my FPS, because it's like I haven't played FPS games a lot. I should be aware though. I hope I'm aware. If anything, just break down the words. I don't know.
Yeah. So, hold on. Sorry, give me one moment. I'm just gonna find like a list for you. Oh God, stop giving. Sorry, listeners. Okay. All right. You ready? Some of these I don't even know, and you probably
Yeah,
don't even
okay.
know either. So,
All right, timer start.
All right. There's a full moon. They turn into
Wolfenstein?
Yeah. Okay. You just bought this game. Okay. Let me see. There's this of Earl.
What?
Well, when you're like a royal member, you that's the male
King?
version. You're not like it's not like it's like a
Prince?
king, but of a certain region. Okay. The time bomb. When you bomb somebody,
What?
it's also considered a. What's another word for
Oh,
atomic
Duke
bomb?
Nukem? Okay.
Yes. Not full.
Half-Life.
Yeah. Okay, this one, you had this in California recently. It's a natural disaster.
Oh, Quake. Quake?
What?
Okay.
Yeah. Okay. This is considered a unlucky number.
Wait, I'm like 13?
Uh-huh.
13?
Yeah, it's a.
Oh, yeah, I
game
do remember
that's
that
like
song. Yeah, I remember that.
Yeah.
It's like a cell-shaded game.
Big Daddy.
Bioshock.
Okay. When you are scared, you are considered to have a lot of this. Yeah. This is where you fight dinosaurs back in the N64.
Oh my gosh. Turok? Okay.
Yeah. Nice. Okay. This one, I think, is the parkour one.
Oh, Mirror's
okay.
Edge. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. Time's up. Yeah.
Okay. Good. Nice.
Oh man, that Turok one, man. I had to really think about that one.
Yeah. Good job, Charlie. You got that
Oh
one.
man, and
I'm glad you got Fear
Fear,
too.
yeah, I remember Fear because it was like freaking scary. It's a first-person shooter, but then randomly there will be a little girl with long hair, like
Yeah. I was gonna describe it, but I didn't know if you
Oh,
played it
yeah.
or not. The
yeah,
girl.
I played that. I played the demo. So I played the demo.
Oh, okay.
And 13, I forgot about that game.
That's good.
It's a cell-shaded one.
Oh yeah, 13 was really fun. I enjoyed that
think
one.
I played it a little bit on the. Was it on the Wii?
No, well, I played on the PlayStation. Oh no, sorry, not PlayStation. I played on the PC on my
It might have
computer.
been PC. I don't remember which system I played it on. Wait, what? I'm looking up 13 right now, and it says platform Nintendo Switch.
Oh, it's
It's
new.
gonna come out
Okay.
in November on the Nintendo Switch.
Oh wow, that's a fun game actually. I really enjoyed that
Yeah,
one.
that's the very story-driven one, right?
Yeah. So that's probably why I enjoyed first-person shooter.
Oh,
because of
okay.
that.
Oh, I remember. I played on PS2. That was it. That was what I played.
Oh yeah.
Okay, and then they're doing a remaster of it for Switch,
Switch.
PS4, Xbox One, and PC.
Ah, cool.
Cool. All right, let's move on to the final lap. All right. So, do you have anything to promote?
Just check out our friend Steve at themindfulbuilder.com. He makes cool furniture stuff.
Cool. And then for us, we are on social media: Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, Twitch. And the most recent Twitch stream I did was randomly at 1 a.m. Pacific, I think, because I wanted to play Doom 1 on the Switch. So, yeah,
Nice.
that was it. And I'm because I got my oops, sorry, I got my my new setup back for the streaming because I was missing cables before.
Yeah.
So now it's better
Nice.
because I have like more cables. I have my whole desk set up like completely now in my wife. That's so weird to say, my wife's house. Yeah.
Oh, yeah,
Yeah.
that's right.
So this whole area is a little bit more organized. So I am able to do more Twitch streaming. The next thing I need to do is get my piano keyboard set up again so that I can start recording piano music again. So
That'd be awesome. Yeah.
probably work on my second
Yeah.
album since my first album it's almost a year now since its release. Yeah.
Oh, really?
But yeah, I guess that's it. No time for time travel. Signing off. Heard a girl in Warp Speed. See ya.
Bye.
I love the Power Glove.
Come with me if you want to live.
I love the Power Glove.
No time for time travel.